Coming up tonight, a police report has been filed after a man seen in this video subjected restaurant staff to unwarranted homophobic abuse.
The estate of a patient who died from cancer due to hospital negligence has been awarded more than $326,000.
And a pilot to allow the reopening of some nightlife outlets will be on hold until further notice. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. I'm Chow Suen.
Good evening, I'm Dylan Ang. A hateful act has gone viral on social media where a man lashed out at staff working at a cafe over a rainbow pride flag displayed on its counter. Posting this video on Instagram, health food restaurant Small said that yesterday afternoon, their outlet at Lau Pa Sat encountered homophobic abuse where a middle-aged man was caught on camera ripping the pride flag off the counter and throwing it at a member of staff. According to Small, the man said, "Do you know that this is a public food court? Not everybody supports LGBT. And how can you put up this flag? You are the kind of people who is destroying Singapore. And go to hell."
The post has gathered considerable attention online, with many people and activists expressing outrage at what they have called a hate crime. Small has since posted a statement online saying that the case is now in the hands of the police. It also appealed to members of the public to allow the authorities to do their job and refrain from doxing the man. Small's owner Charmaine said, "I support diversity and inclusion in all its forms, especially the inclusion of marginalized communities such as the LGBTQ community."
Also tonight, Singapore is facing an increase in community transmissions of COVID-19 with unlinked cases and active clusters found.
Just today, 4 community cases were reported, making the total number in January so far 25. In a bid to cope with the uptick in local transmissions, authorities are reconsidering the reopening of specific sectors. One example, a pilot to allow the reopening of some nightlife outlets, such as nightclubs and karaoke outlets, will be further deferred until further notice. According to the Ministries of Home Affairs and Trade and Industry, this is to further prevent community transmission and clusters forming in high-risk settings, in light of the rising number of community cases recently.
2 nightclubs and 10 karaoke outlets have been shortlisted to reopen this month. The pilot for bars and pubs, which commenced earlier, will continue for now.
Additional measures may be needed to keep local infections in check. In a Facebook post, COVID-19 Task Force Co-Chair Lawrence Wong said that they are monitoring the situation carefully and considering if additional measures are necessary to ensure the infection remains under control. This comes as the total number of cases linked to the police para-veterinarian cluster rises to 6. Mr. Wong added that contact tracers were working hard to identify all contacts and ring-fence potential cases.
Meantime, Singapore is looking to potentially deliver over 70,000 COVID-19 shots daily from February with the aim of completing all vaccinations this year. According to tender documents seen by the Straits Times, the Health Ministry wants to appoint a vendor to set up 36 vaccination centres. Each centre should be able to cater to at least 2,000 people a day and could include vacant schools, community clubs and sports halls. The vendor will also set up 10 roving teams to provide mass vaccinations for places like nursing homes. Appointed vendors will have to also make sure that vaccines are stored and handled properly and that supply is sufficient.
And while support is available to many who have suffered losses due to the pandemic, some have turned to cheating the system and exploiting these grants for personal gain. 20-year-old Yi Jia Hao had cheated the Ministry of Social and Family Development of $2,500. Today, the full-time national serviceman was sentenced to 18 months probation. The court heard that Yi had used his ill-gotten gains to gamble and has not made any restitution. Not only did he submit 4 bogus COVID-19 grant applications, he lied about his own loss in personal income and used SingPass credentials belonging to other people, including his father.
A court has awarded more than $326,000 in damages to the estate of the late Ms. Noor Azlin Abdul Rahman due to negligence by Changi General Hospital. Ms. Noor Azlin died in April 2019 at the age of 39 after she had won a lawsuit against CGH, claiming that its negligence had delayed the detection of her lung cancer and led to an adverse medical outcome. Her estate sought $13.5 million in damages, while the hospital offered $20,800. In deciding on the amount awarded, Justice Belinda Ang said that since Ms. Noor Azlin has died, claims for loss of future medical expenses, take-home earnings and CPF and cost of nursing care have all dwindled. If you were out and about yesterday, you might have noticed a significantly stronger breeze. Singapore was gripped by gusty winds on Monday with speeds of up to 49.3 kilometers per hour in Admiralty in the morning. That high speed was recorded over a 1-minute period at about 11 a.m., with strong winds also logged at other areas like East Coast, Marina Barrage, Changi and Pasir Panjang, who recorded wind speeds of more than 20 kilometers per hour well into Monday evening.
On that note, Singapore's weather in 2020 showed temperature trends different from those observed globally. That's according to the National Environment Agency. The first 5 months of last year were warmer than average, but this was reversed in the second half of the year, with cooler than average temperatures recorded over the island. That said, 2020 was the 8th warmest year on record, with an annual mean temperature of 28 degrees Celsius, half a degree above the long-term average.
With travel plans being disrupted by the pandemic, it's safe to say we all need a holiday, and seems like this cat too. A picture of a cat in a blue Hawaiian shirt has sparked some debate online after it was photographed in the Tampines neighbourhood.
It was posted in a Facebook group called Singapore Missing Cats by a user who was searching for the cat's owners. While some users commented about how cute it was, others felt that the clothing could be potentially dangerous to the cat, as it could result in it overheating. It is not known if the cat has been reunited with its owner.
The situation at the Australian Open appears to be worsening. Health officials today reported another 3 positive cases, 2 of whom are players. This follows hot on the heels of players throwing tantrums over quarantine measures. World number 13 Roberto Bautista Agut has slammed the Victoria State government's quarantine requirements for tennis players and said being locked down in a hotel is like being in prison with Wi-Fi.
And he's not the only one, with world number 1 Novak Djokovic also questioning the need for mandatory hotel quarantine. But Australian officials have put their foot down. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews said he would not make any changes. He said that players knew what they were travelling into, and Victoria will not cut corners or make special arrangements.
And before we go, if you thought a vertical marathon was hard on 2 feet, what about 2 wheels? French cyclist Aurélien Fontenoy hopped up 33 floors, all in the name of charity. With awards at the UCI Trials World Championship, it took him just 30 minutes to ascend all 768 steps of the 140-metre-tall Trinity Tower in France, as part of a challenge for the Revs Association, a non-profit that works to make the dreams of seriously ill children come true. Bravo and well done.
You know, I can't imagine how that must have felt. You know, having to jump with your bike, so many flights of steps.
Crazy.
And with that, we wrap up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.